Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world today. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to ask the question, and I have just heard this so many times, a lot of discussions out there. Is this time different? Is this time different? And we're going to explore that. We're going to look at some of the pros and cons and what might be the next move, especially with the tariffs coming out today, I believe to be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does, of course, help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you leave. Thank you so much for those that take the time to do that. You take the time to write it. I take the time to read it and respond. I much appreciate that. Okay, so let's have a look here, what we've got from Tech Dev. See that blue zone we're nowhere near. 4 out of 4 cycles topped in there. See that green dot after the bump. 3 out of 3 times Bitcoin went parabolic. The majority seems to think this time is different. That usually works out right. And this is true because in the last cycle, so many people were talking about how, oh, this time is different. This time is different. This time is different, because there were some differences, and every time is a little bit different. But essentially, I'm a still believer of the 4-year cycle. Okay. And as you can see, this is where cycles topped, and we're nowhere near that. And then this is, of course, where cycles, where the price went fairly parabolic. And so it's interesting to see that there are still some things I think are to play out. And you can see here we have the hash ribbons indicator that has flashed, and generally this is a buying opportunity. And you can see when it has happened, what has happened here. And I showed this the other day. And of course, sometimes there's a little bit more downside, and we could see some more downside before we see some upside. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows from here, of course. And when you look at, there is one of the big differences that I do see in this cycle is the decoupling of altcoins from Bitcoin. I think that's different, and I'm going to share that in a little bit. But let's go to the Bitcoin price here and see what is shaking out at the moment. I do think, as I said, it's over. Once we see, and let's switch to the weekly here, once we see a full candle open and close below the 50-week moving average, that's likely means this bull run is at an end. And it could, of course, we could come down to these lower levels of $69,000. There could be a wick down, but as long as we don't see, and of course that's not going to happen this week because we didn't open a candle below, and to open a candle below we would have had to close one the week before. So first of all, we need to see a closed candle, and then we need to see a new candle open and close underneath here, and then the end is, I will switch to my bias will be that is more likely that this bull run is over, and that it is going to be a little bit different, and we do have a little bit of a left translated cycle. However, to the upside here, we are pretty close to breaking back above the 200-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily. We failed yesterday as we tried to push through there and didn't get above. We have the tariff news, and so a lot of what I'm saying today is bigger picture, because obviously the tariff news could send the market into a tailspin. However, I do feel much of this is priced in, and people have been dumping and risk off in anticipation of what they feel is going to be bad news. However, this could end up being a buy the news event. And even if it's short-lived, because we could get more tariff news down the track that is negative, this could be a nice opportunity for a bit of a bounce here, unless the news comes in worse than what people are feeling. what people are thinking right now is expected is there will be tariffs imposed. There will be countries that it will be imposed upon and certain goods that will be imposed upon. And hopefully we can draw a line under it and it will get no worse than what it is, of course, unless these said countries respond in kind with reciprocal additional tariffs. Now, of course, what we're really looking for is because Bitcoin is trading between the 50 EMA on the weekly and the 20 EMA on the weekly. And historically, if we are still in a bull run, if we do not get that full candle open close before that, historically has been a very good time to collect some Bitcoin. Okay, so very important there. So that's what I'm looking for. Ultimately, the 50-day now moving average is down by the 20 EMA on the weekly. A break above there and a full weekly candle open and close below there. And I think we're going to see this Bitcoin shoot back up to 100K and get back into the range. Remember, I think so far this has been nothing more right now than a deviation outside of the range that we've been in. We deviated a little bit out here for a number of weeks. We deviated outside of the range there for about 5 weeks. And there was another couple of weeks there. So far, we have deviated outside of this range for about 4 to 5 weeks as well. And so let's see if this is going to be turned into more of a deviation and we actually have created a brand new range that we're going to consolidate in here for a while. And then, of course, what people are thinking, well, what if we just stay in this zone for a while longer? And that maybe Bitcoin now is more correlated to the stock market than the crypto market. Well, therefore, if that is the case, and that is something we do have to consider, that Bitcoin is now decorrelated from the crypto market, as we saw, where was it over here? Oh, geez, where are we? Over here. Are we now, is this time different? Yes, there is a difference there. We have decoupled from the crypto market, and Bitcoin tends to look like it's following the stock market as an asset class because it is traded as an ETF. Now, unfortunately, Ethereum isn't following the stock market. It's just finding its own path on a spiral down. And it shows you the ETF isn't the be all and end all when you have an ETH money printer where they can just, ETH Foundation can keep printing ETH and dumping it on retail. This isn't happening with Bitcoin. This is part of what makes Bitcoin special and unique and why it's had a great ETF launch and done well since the ETF launch, and Ethereum has gone the opposite direction. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there for Bitcoin. So today, based on the tariff news, the two things I'm looking for is, one, are we going to see a retest down in here, or even a break below there? This could be another good buying opportunity here as long as we stay above that levels. And again here, if we were to break above here, this also could be a buying opportunity here, a little bit higher around 88,000 as well, as long as we see a confirmed support there for Bitcoin and further up. And this is supported, if you see the liquidity heat maps here, you can go to CoinGlass and get this for free. But if you look here to follow the yellow brick road, we'll follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And as you can see here, the liquidity is above price on the weekly chart there. There is more liquidity there at 86,000. And then if we move out to the monthly chart here, we do see, again, there is more liquidity above price at 86 and at 88, 89, right where that 20-week moving average and the 50-day 20 EMA on the weekly and the 50-day moving averages. I'd be shocked if we didn't come up and retest that. That could be a nice 5,000 jump up to there. And then as we further zoom out to the 6-month, oh, and look, that doesn't mean that there isn't to the downside there. As we go to the monthly chart there is some nice juicy 140 million, 85, 70. There is a lot of money there to the downside from about 81,000 down to 79,000 there that could be collected before we come and push higher. But if you really look and zoom out on the 6-month time frame, and remember, before we had the big tumble down from that 110, there was all of this here to the upside was down below until it all got taken out, except for down here at the 74 to 73 and 76. So from 76 to 73,000, there's billions and billions of dollars there. But what we also have here is this new little amount here at 81. You can see 81,000, 5.92 billion, 3.58, 4.4, 1 point. There's a lot of liquidity there now here that wasn't there before, because remember, it got wiped out and then a whole bunch of people went long again, and we have a lot of liquidity. But there is way more to the upside there at 96, 100K, and up to 108 and 109K. There are billions, $5.6 billion up there at 109. You can see all the different levels are billions and billions of dollars. If I'm the market maker, it's very simple. I'm probably going to want to use the tariff news to drop this price down, at least to take down this liquidity here. Maybe this gets left behind. We came pretty close to it. It felt like we were going to go lower and pick this up, and maybe that gets picked up in a bear market or on a different correction at a different time. And so it'll be interesting to see how these play out. And then if we jump back here, I want to go back to total 3 because I'm not doing total 2. But again, if there has been a decoupling, which there has been, so not if, but if this continues, the key thing I'm looking for altcoins is not to see a full weekly candle open and close. Now, we've had a weekly candle come in, but it didn't close below. So first of all, we need to see a full weekly candle close below the 50-week moving average at 742 billion, and then a full candle open and close. And then I would begin to say, okay, altcoins are in a bear market and Bitcoin isn't, and there has been a decoupling and there is a little bit of a difference. I do still think that for Bitcoin, there is going to be a new all-time high that hasn't changed, and that won't change. It won't change unless I see a full weekly candle close below the 50-week moving average there. So this does mean that I do feel most altcoins all-time high for this cycle is in, mostly. Some may go on and make a new all-time high, or if altcoins are in bear market, they'll have some kind of a dead cat bounce as more and more money flows into Bitcoin, because this is what people are realizing. They're waking up saying, I'm not making money on my altcoins, and Bitcoin dominance just keeps going higher and higher, and therefore altcoins are bleeding out and more money is flowing into Bitcoin. And I do think this could be a bit of a reckoning where we have a big cleanup of the altcoin market and people stop speculating on junk coins or coins with terrible tokenomics or little to no utility, and we start to see this asset class kind of clean itself up. Now, that's something that may or may not happen, but one can only hope that a lot of the bad actors get flushed out of this space, and this is happening with a move towards into Bitcoin here, and we're just seeing that right now. We're seeing no signs whatsoever of an altcoin season. Right now, we're in Bitcoin season. The place to be is Bitcoin. And again, I shared my strategy yesterday where with altcoins, I'm just swinging them and day trading them. I have no desire to have any long-term holds with altcoins. If one of the swing trades, if we go on some kind of a run there, like it did with Sui the other day from $2.25 to $2.79, and I got in that trade beautifully, and that was about a week's trade there, that's fine. But then I sold at $2.79, it got up to $2.82. And so I would look to get in and out of altcoins or leverage trade them, of course, and make money on the way down. And you can swing shorting a coin over, it doesn't have to be an in and out trade, and you can swing responsibly shorting with 1x leverage to the downside. Now you can learn how to do that. I'm teaching that in the Tribal Trades Discord, and those details are below in the description of this video. You can click on the link, sign up, and get on the wait list for the Tribal Trades Discord. It is an exclusive, by design, smaller trading community. We do have a leverage lounge there, aka the party zone. We have a ton of crypto plays, stocks plays, live trading sessions with me where you can live trade with me and learn how to scalp and day trade, or you can learn how to swing trade over a longer period of time, both buying spot and going long and getting good entries and good exits, like the Sui trade that I gave the other day in the live trading session from $2.25 to $2.79. Also, learning to short the market and make money on the way down, because you can make money on the way down and on the way up. You can learn if you can buy here and sell here. You can certainly take a position and buy a short here and then sell it on the way down. And we take you step by step, hold your hand through this whole process so that you're able to make money no matter what the market is doing, whether it's going up, down, or sideways. You can find me in the Discord. And I'm also on the Stocks with Josh Discord. You can sign up for that right away. That's an open Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel in there where I share education, insights, resources, some of my own trade setups, as well as entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Okay. And you can be entertained even when the market's going down. You can make money. I'd love to see you in the Discord there. But until the next episode, happy trading.